Alright, hi! Should I get my Path of Exile shirt? Wait, no. Wait, it's up! It's up! It's up! Wait, where is it? Home, announcement news. Wait, the page is up. Press tour is complete. Supporter packs. Wait, what? The window capture here. So the timer expired? Come on! Yeah, now the web page is lagging, of course, because everyone refreshed in exactly that moment. That's exactly what I was looking for. Blight! It's the Blight League. Are you serious? How is that? Okay, guys. Official first impressions Blight League, by the way.
The Blight. A creeping black fungus that feeds on the will of its hosts. Pulsating with toxic blood, too dangerous to touch, too dangerous to ignore. We must drain the ichor of this dark infection. Its mindless husks will protect its core. So I build weapons. Towers which conjure flames, chill the air, move the earth.
What? What?
Even so,
Tower defense?
I need your might. And to the mighty go the spoils.
What? Okay, is that veiled items or no? That's fractured.
Is out there. It's black.
Or is that a new type of
reaching for us?
blighted items?
Seek it out. And
Golden and black.
it.
What the fuck? I'm liking the soundtrack, but it's not producing that same feeling that Legion. I mean, obviously, it's not. It's not the same sense of hype. It's more heroic.
The Blight is here. And we are the cure.
My laptop will die halfway through the league. Well, so we defend the turret? I mean, we're gonna get the explanation now.
In the Blight League, Sister Cassia is trying to stop the spread of the mind-controlling Blight by destroying...
New NPC, Pock. What is her name? Sister Marcia? Sister Marcia? What? Demacia!
League, Sister Cassia is trying
Sister
to stop
Cassia,
the spread of
okay.
the mind-controlling Blight by destroying fungal growths. When attacked, the Blight commands infected monsters to defend it. The monsters mindlessly follow the Blight's tendrils, only attacking foes directly in their path. The infected are unusually tough, so you'll need to build defensive towers to exploit each monster's specific weaknesses. For each tendril lane you defend, a chest will appear with your rewards. These rewards can include oils, which Sister Cassia can combine together to enchant certain items. Blighted maps contain larger pockets of infection. Cleanse these for rewards, including unique items which can
Blighted
be enchanted
maps.
with notable passive skills.
Alright, Blight League start
In Path of
confirmed.
Exile Blight, we also have a focus on giving you more control over when you run side content. Master missions now stack for later if you don't run them immediately. This
Pog!
expansion also contains significant revamps to the Saboteur, Assassin, and Necromancer Ascendancy classes, as well as an additional bar of skill bindings. Check out Path of Exile Blight on September 6.
Roll it again. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was Chris Wilson from Grinding
The
Gear
Blight.
Games.
A creeping black fungus that feeds on the will of its hosts. Pulsating with toxic blood.
I need
too
to
dangerous
absorb
to
this
touch,
all again.
Too dangerous to ignore. We must
Allocate
drain
skill
the
points?
ichor of this dark infection.
Siggy has longer
Its
reveal video as
mindless
usual.
husks will protect its
We'll
core.
look at
So
that.
I build weapons. Towers which conjure flames, chill the air, move the earth. Even so, I need your might. And to the mighty go the spoils. The source of
Wait, is that a new kind of item?
go the spoils.
Empyrean Jack. Is that blighted or is this just... That's a new symbol, right? That's not like a fractured item, right? They changed Flask images? Holy shit, yeah, you're right! Divine Flask has a new skin. Look at the Divine Flasks, guys. Good, well spotted. Like Flasks have new graphics. That's the most important thing. Look at the Eternal Mana Flask and the Divine Life Flask.
I need your might.
Wow.
And to the mighty,
Nice.
the spoiled.
So no more double-use graphics for Flasks.
The source
No
of this
more
blight is
mistaking
out there.
a
Its
grader
black
for
tendrils reaching for us. We will seek it out and purge it.
a colossal. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, they all look pretty amazing. They didn't change the utility blasts around, but still, that's pretty amazing.
The blight is here.
New skill
And
looks like
we
Razor Leaf.
are the cure.
Blight. Commentary up next. Okay, we'll listen to the commentary once more. Then we'll listen to the Ziggy D video, and then we'll go over the reveal page itself. Right, that's the plan. You know, just so you know. It's only a 2-minute 46 video, so...
Sister Cassia is trying to stop the spread of the mind-controlling Blight by destroying fungal growths. When attacked, the Blight commands infected monsters to defend it. The monsters mindlessly follow the Blight's tendrils, only attacking foes directly in their path. The infected are unusually tough, so you'll need to build defensive towers to exploit each monster's specific weaknesses. For each tendril lane you defend, a chest will appear with your rewards. These rewards can include oils, which Sister Cassia can combine together to enchant certain items.
Okay, so you can get enchants on items that were previously unable to get enchants, such as amulets, right? So you can add another implicit. Enchant slots and implicit slots have been separated a couple weeks back, I think during synthesis. And for synthesis they did that, because otherwise the enchanted implicits would have overwritten the enchants, the synthesized implicits. So that's pretty neat. Enchant gives you quick step, that's a passive. Yeah, that's sick. Piety voice reused for the new NPC? Could very well be the Piety voice actor.
Mindlessly follow the Blight's tendrils, only attacking foes directly in their path.
I like how the small flasks look like. Here, look, the small mana flasks now look like the small life flasks now look like small mana flasks, like these little vials.
The monsters mindlessly follow the Blight's tendrils, only attacking foes directly in their path. The infected are unusually tough, so you'll need to build defensive towers to exploit each monster's specific weaknesses. For each tendril lane you defend, a chest will appear with...
And you always get 3 crap uniques, just the same as from the unique chests in Legion, right?
Your rewards. These rewards can include oils, which Sister Cassia can combine together to enchant certain items.
Allocates champion of the cause. So that means you get a passive, but so picking the passive in the tree does not impart any benefit, right?
Which Sister Cassia can combine together to enchant certain
items. It says it allocates quickstep. So does that mean you probably have to have a free passive point, but it's like intuitive leap, right? So you get to actually allocate something that is not connected to your tree. I'm curious whether it actually is like an intuitive leap or is it a free passive point. I think it's like an intuitive leap, though.
Items.
I would guess it's a free passive point as well. That would be insane, though. Like, think about it. Like, even if you could only get it on, say, rings, amulet, and belt, and chest piece, that would be already like 5 passive points additional. That's power
contain
creep.
Larger pockets of infection.
Think it's a free
Cleanse
power
these for
point?
rewards, including unique items which can be enchanted with notable passive skills. In Path of Exile Blight, we also have a focus on giving you more control over when you run side content. Master missions now stack for later if you don't run them immediately.
That's insanely powerful. That's so cool that they stack. Up to a certain cap, probably. But that's so cool. That's exactly what we want. I mean, that's literally what TarkyCat was talking about in his video yesterday. That he's not a fan of the 10% spawn and randomly encountering things that you don't really want to do. and then not being able to do them when you want to do them.
This expansion also contains significant revamps to
Additional bow of skill bindings. Oh, wow. Thanks for that spoiler.
the Assassin and Necromancer Ascendancy classes, as well as an additional bar of skill bindings. Check out Path of Exile Blight on September 6th.
Holy pog. Okay, so now we watch the Ziggy D video, right? And then we're gonna look at the page. Spoiler from video you already showed us. Wait, was it in the video? Huh? Did I overlisten it? Because I was thinking out loud in my head. Probably. It's the last sentence he says. Oh, awesome. Well, so Ziggy D. From Why Not Synthesis. Blight. Tower Defense League, he literally says it.
G'day, I'm Ziggy D, and welcome to my reveal of Path of Exile's 3.8 expansion, Blight. In this league, we'll join forces with Sister Cassia to destroy fungal growths that are mind-controlling the monsters of Rayclast, and we'll do it through the power of towers. That's right, Path of Exile is getting tower defense. Sister Cassia has a device that can purge the Blight, but she needs our help in defending it. Waves of mind-controlled slaves will travel along tendril paths, and we must stop them before they destroy Cassia's device. The infected are imbued with unnatural toughness, but we'll be able to employ a variety of different towers to halt their progress. We can make towers to slow, distract, and damage monsters, exploiting their specific weaknesses with different elements. And of course, this is still Path of Exile, so we'll also be joining in on the combat ourselves. Tower placement, choices of upgrades, and cross-tower synergies will be important strategic decisions.
I don't like to hate on Ziggy, and I love the guy, but he just got that YouTube jerk tone perfectly right here.
Exploiting their specific weaknesses with different elements.
We'll be exploiting their specific weaknesses. You know, like this. It's swinging the voice. I mean, I don't normally notice
damage
that.
Monsters, exploiting their specific weaknesses with different elements. And of course, this is still Path of Exile, so we'll also be joining in on the combat ourselves. Tower placement, choices of upgrades, and cross-tower synergies will be important.
It's gonna piss off Ziggy? No, it's hard to piss off Ziggy.
And a successful defense will reveal a variety of rewards amongst the drained Blight tendrils. In addition to the different varieties of loot and currency, we'll also be able to drain special oils from the Blights that can be combined together to anoint rings and amulets with new enchantments. Anointing rings will add enchantments that aid in future Blight encounters, making our towers cheaper or more powerful. Anointing amulets, however, will add enchantments that allocate a notable passive from the skill tree.
So, guys, you only get a notable passive on an enchant, on amulet. On rings, it will actually only help with the lead mechanic, right?
With new enchantments. Anointing rings will add enchantments that aid in future Blight encounters, making our towers cheaper
or more powerful.
Anointing amulets, however, will add enchantments that allocate a notable passive from the skill tree, without needing to spend passive points or even path to it.
Yeah, so if it's only 1 point, then I'm pretty sure Hexmaster is sick, though. Yeah, that's... Again, it doesn't stack with Hexmaster, though, so it's not as powerful as it may look. It looks like an additional curse, but it's not an additional curse. Unless you're not getting Hexmaster in the tree.
These anointed amulets, it'll be possible...
Actually, it's not called Hexmaster. What's the additional curse? Additional curse... I forget the name. Doom something. Whispers of Doom, thank you. But, yeah, so if you can get Whispers of Doom, it's pretty neat, but then it's also not an additional curse because it doesn't stack with Whispers of Doom in the tree. Thanks. I was brain farting.
Build from anywhere on the skill tree. The anointing process...
Yeah, however, on a build that is not getting double curse, right? On a build that's not getting Hexmaster in the tree. Say you're doing a Pathfinder and you're going into Duelist and you're not even going to the top side of the tree. You can get an amulet with Hexmaster and +1 curse corrupt. That would be Pog, of course.
is deterministic, with each combination of 3 oils producing a different set outcome, and you'll be able to see which enchantment you'll get before you consume the oils. This means that it'll be far easier to discover and use this system than previous League crafting mechanics. Once at endgame, players will be able to find blighted maps which contain one gigantic blight encounter. These tower defense maps have a much higher degree of difficulty than the regular random blight encounters, but also much greater rewards. Blighted maps can be crafted like regular maps, and they can also be anointed with oils to add additional special modifiers. Successful completion of these blighted tower defense maps will potentially yield higher level blighted maps and special blight unique items. In 3.8, there's going to be a set of 4 special blight uniques, with some of them having variants. These can be anointed with notable passive skills, just like the amulets.
Okay, so there's also other slots where you can get passive skill tree notables as an enchant, but on these enchants will actually compete with lab enchants, right? Because I'm sure they'll use the same enchant slot, and you won't be able to get, say, the penetration enchant on top of allocate's cold-hearted calculation. So movement speed is 150 of its base value, so it's 50% movement speed. Exactly, it's like 7 league step, but then without, like, it sets it to a fixed value, right? Your movement speed is 150% of its base value, meaning your movement speed will never be less than 150 of its base value, it will never be more. It sets it at 150, so getting a Queen of the Forest on top of these boots will not make you faster. Will action speed increase it? I'm pretty sure action speed will increase it, yeah. I'm pretty sure Tailwind will make it 10% faster. Because I'm pretty sure that action speed scales movement speed after it's been calculated, but I don't know. Travel skill cooldown. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
These new boots.
Look at it, those might be the best boots. The best boots? I don't think so. No resist, no life. And again, movement speed is set to 150. It's not plus 50%, it's set, meaning that no other movement speed increase from amulet, from chest piece, from helmet, nothing will increase your movement speed. This is only good when you have no increased movement speed from the tree, from passives, from pantheons, from other items like
The Stampede have been anointed with cold-hearted calculation, but the choice of notable passive is yours. Why not add?
Yeah, travel skills is great. But wait, travel skills are all travel skills? Wait, travel skills. Because didn't they categorize different skills? No, they're all travel. Wait, travel, blink arrow, body swap, dash, flame dash, frost blink, leap slam, lightning warp, phase run, shield charge, smoke mine, while lightning warp, and warning blades. It looks like all of them. Yeah, all of them are travel. Okay. I thought maybe they made a distinction between some movement skills being travel and some being something else. But actually, blinks are blinks, and leap slam is not a blink, right? Yeah, exactly. It's travel, movement, melee, and then blinks are actually blinks. Like dash is actually a blink. Okay, it's a blink tag. But they're all travel skills. But that means Cyclone, which is a movement skill, is not affected, right? Because Cyclone also doesn't have a cooldown, but previously, before they made this division and before they introduced all these categories, everything movement related was a movement skill. Which it still is, but, you know, they gained additional tags to further distinguish them, to further make sure like that's not all the same. Okay, interesting. I mean, 78% increased cooldown recovery speed is huge. Again, though, those boots don't have life, those boots don't have resists, and, you know, they're great, but I don't think they're going to be the best boots. I mean, yeah, it's awesome to have even more cooldown recovery speed on your flame dash and pretty much flame dash all the time. But it's also cool to have resists. For a lot of people, the boots in a build are where they carry resists because the other items are so important to unique slots.
Constitution for 14% increased life, or Whispers of Doom for an additional curse. Anointed enchantments can be overridden and replaced with others if you change your mind, and oils can be traded up to more rare types of oil by trading 3 for 1 at the vendor.
I agree. Minion builds would be probably very good at the Blight mechanic. The tower defense mini game itself, I think minions will be excellent there. Like Spectre Summoners or Skeleton Summoners.
In addition to the 4 Blight uniques and their variants, there will also be another 10 uniques added to the game in 3.8, each aimed at being build defensive.
Ooh, nice. Minion conversion. 100% minion conversion. 100% physical damage to chaos per with 4 white sockets. Oh, that's gonna be such a nice chase. 100% physical to chaos, wow.
Fining. The Triad Grip, for example, are a pair of gloves that can potentially fully convert minion physical damage into cold, fire, lightning, or even chaos with some luck in corruption. And in addition to these 14 new uniques, there are a couple dozen existing uniques being rebalanced, with 6 of them receiving significant overhauls. As with other recent expansions, Blight will also see major changes to 3 build archetypes. The first is the long-awaited Summoner Overhaul. 3.8 aims to fix many problems with the Summoner playstyle and revamp the Necromancer to be more powerful overall. You'll now be able to control the behavior of your minions using 3 new support gems. Any skill supported by these new support gems will cause your minions to act aggressively, defensively, or even focus fire on a specific target. In addition to this, skeletons, zombies, and specters have been reworked to be much more powerful based on gem levels specific.
That sounds like Gazzy's gonna like this. Gazzy is gonna be a fan. Gazzy's been asking for ways to change minion AI or for making them smarter for a long time.
New support gems. Any skill supported by these new support gems will cause your minions to act aggressively, defensively, or even focus fire on a specific target. In addition to this, skeletons, zombies, and specters have been reworked to be much more powerful based on gem levels specifically. This makes them much less reliant on items and ascendancies to gain the bulk of their power. The goal here is to make your choices of build matter more for specialization and playstyle over raw power. For example, you can see in the footage here a player who has focused quite a bit on minion speed. There's a new minion called the Carrion Golem, which buffs and is in turn buffed by your other minions. In addition to this, there's going to be a new wand-based type, found in specific Atlas maps, which will have its own pool of summoner-focused modifiers. And of course, the Necromancer will be seeing a redesign to provide more useful effects for a larger spectrum of minion types. This will be revealed at a later date. The next build
Animate Weapon Summoner League start, guys. It's happening.
Archetype being revamped is the Poison Assassin. In the past, this playstyle was a prominent build choice and very powerful in its day, but it has since fallen out of favor in quite a large way. In order to bring this playstyle back into the spotlight, 3.8 will add 5 new skills and 1 new support gem themed around the Poison Critical Strike Assassin playstyle. One of these new skills is Cobra Lash, which throws a copy of your weapon to chain multiple times between enemies. It has a built-in 100% chance to poison on a critical strike. And to better balance the offense and defense of these playstyles, there will also be a new buff available from the Assassin Ascendancy called Elusive, which gives defense and mobility bonuses. This buff is also the first that is designed to get weaker as it expires rather than simply switching off. So it'll be at its strongest when it's first activated, getting weaker over time. This will come alongside assassin tweaks that will give it new options for building around critical strikes and poison. And the third build archetype revamp for 3.8 is the Mine Saboteur playstyle. Mines are now thrown at range instead of placed at your feet. and when detonated they will now detonate in sequence with boosted power the longer the chain of detonations is.
What?
To further differentiate mines from traps, activated mines will now reserve some mana while armed, and many mines will have auras which will apply to nearby enemies.
Wow, that's
On top of this,
crazy.
there will be 3 new mine skills and 1 new utility skill that'll work with both traps and mines. In the footage is the new low-level mine skill Stormblast Mine, which is designed to expand the early game options of this archetype. Stormblast mines make nearby enemies more vulnerable to damage, and they gain increasingly powerful shockwaves when multiple are detonated in sequence. Both the Saboteur and the mine-related notable passives are being reworked to provide better support for mine-focused playstyles. But shifting things away from Blight and builds for a second, 3.8 is also an expansion with a large focus on allowing players to play content when they want to. An ongoing issue many players have been faced with is the pressure placed on things like doing master missions and engaging in previous league mechanics. The problem was often that you would not want to skip these encounters for fear of wasting them, but in being forced to do them right then and there, you would interrupt your current gameplay flow. Another issue identified was that in order to do master missions when you want to, you'd be forced to trade with other players for missing maps in order to do your daily quests on the Atlas. 3.8 is taking big steps towards solving both of these issues. Players
What? Are you serious? I don't think that's
your current gameplay flow. Another issue identified was that in order to do master missions when you want to, you'd be forced to trade with other players for missing maps in order to do your daily quests on the Atlas.
Never in my life have I bought maps because I wanted to do a master mission that was on there. I mean, it helps that I'm playing solo self-found this league, but I've played Trade League before. I've played Trade League in Betrayal, and I don't think I've ever had the feeling I have to buy a map from another player in order to do my master missions. I think the problem that you couldn't do them when you wanted was more like you had to acquire, sextants or scarabs or like that sort of stuff, prophecies that would force them to spawn. But never in my life have I bought a map because I wanted to run the master mission that spawned on there.
3.8 is taking big steps towards solving both of these issues. Players will still sometimes encounter things like incursions and Einhar randomly when doing Atlas maps. However, the majority of encounters with master content is now deferred and can be done when you want to. There is a counter that stacks up of deferred master missions that can be built up as you play, with an additional 2 missions added every day even if you aren't playing. When you want to engage in the master content, you can speak to that master and they will open the Zana's map device for you to insert a map of your choice.
That's
so
super
you can complete
PogChamp.
their mission right then and there in that.
Wait, what? You can stack up to 100, more than 100 yellow master missions? What? That's insane. Look at that, guys. Here, there. 103. Wow.
Map guaranteed. The implications of this change are huge.
It's indefinite said on the website. That's insane. Can you seal them and trade them? That would be sick.
It means that you can map with your buddies and let the sulfite missions for delves stack up. Then on the weekend, when you have some time for yourself, you can jump in, chain a bunch of sulfite maps from your stacked up missions, and then delve to your heart's content. You can ignore Alva's missions and let them stack up for a week and then chain temples back to back when you have a bunch of time and want to farm for that white socket craft or corruption table.
Chaining content, finally. That's what people like. That's why people, even though we got the entire Atlas, right? We got the entire Atlas. People can run literally any map they want, and people still go for the strat where they just repeatedly grind one and the same map because it's low mental effort. It's low maintenance. You just have routine and you just do it, and you can stream, you can talk on the phone, you can watch television while doing it, you just do it and you get like a return. And getting that into the master missions, that's so important, that's so good.
Whatever way you choose to engage, the key thing is that you'll get to choose when and how. Alongside this monumentous improvement, some previous leagues are also being improved. Betrayal's Mastermind encounter, long relegated to being just simply not done, will now get a reward room for every member of the Immortal Syndicate, not just the leaders, which should make it much more tempting.
What?
Importantly, Syndicate state.
Wow. One reward room for every member of the syndicate when you kill the mastermind. Now we're talking.
Is now shared across all characters in the league, so...
Finally I can continue my syndicate when I died. That was always the worst thing, having to start with a completely empty syndicate board. I didn't even care, and in the end of the league, like when I lost my last character, I didn't even care anymore about losing the character or losing the gear. The only thing I really hated was, oh god, I lost all that syndicate progression.
Is progress if you make a new character. Delve has also been rebalanced to make it much easier to reach deeper depths to challenge your character. There are a total of 69 fewer depths to reach endgame maps, and the rarer encounters have been made more common. And yes, Sulfite is now also shared across all characters in the league. Now the Legion League was a big hit, so naturally it's being added to the game right from the get-go. As detailed in a recent manifesto, monoliths will appear in the Temple of Atzoatl, Delve, and they can also randomly appear in maps. Additionally, there will be a new scarab to add monoliths to your maps manually, and there'll be some sextant modifiers. Synthesis, on the other hand, was a divisive league, and as a whole, its mechanics are not being added to the core game. The boss fights, however, are being added to the game as unique maps in Zana's random mission offerings. This will bring Synthesis specific uniques back into the game through these maps, though there is not currently planned to be access to the Synthesizer, Nexus, or Fractured items. Now personally, I think that even without the Blight League and content, this would be a big update for the game. The overhaul to the Master Mission system is such a relief because the overwhelming list of things that's been building up in this game that could interrupt what I was doing was really starting to grate on me at times. Personally, I really want to do delves and temples and things like that, I just don't want to do them right then and there when I'm in the middle of my map a lot of the time. But wasting Sulfite encounters or incursions always felt terrible. And being able to do a day of specific farming when we want to sounds so much better overall. That being said, when Chris first revealed that Blight was going to be a tower defense league, I cracked up laughing because it's so goofy, but it actually looks like a lot of fun. Also, the blighted maps really remind me of the olden days of Path of Exile mapping, where maps would be quite rare and we were excited about really crafting them up to try and get some higher level map drops. And this is the first league in a while that isn't really focused on endgame boss fights. Good bosses are one of my favourite things in PoE, but I'm excited for something wildly different, with Blight's endgame instead being focused on high-level Blight map mega tower defense missions. This could well recapture some of my childhood of playing custom games in Warcraft 3. It also seems like a really good move after Synthesis to make a crafting reward structure that will be much easier to read and navigate. Being able to see the oil crafts before committing to them and having them not be random is going to be quite a bit less stressful for players, I think. But
honestly, this looks for me like a happy marriage between Abyss and Synthesis. That's how it looks to me, with some new elements added, obviously. But, you know, these may just be abysses that branch off, and then, you know, being able to build things, you know, just like in Synthesis where you're able to structure your own run. It seems like a very, very cool mechanic. I'm not sure whether I'll like the way it implements into mapping because of what I just said with the, you know, sometimes you just want to mindlessly grind something that you set up to repeatedly do, but, you know, I'm willing to give it a shot. Worst case scenario, we'll just have to skip it here and there, but...
That said, let me know what your initial thoughts are in the comments. That's it for now. I'm Ziggy D, and thanks for watching.
Tornado shot would be crazy for this. There's a lot of things that I think would be good. I think because it's stationary and it doesn't really care about you moving fast, zooming around the map. I do think that it's going to be really good for minion builds, which, you know, is probably also the objective, seeing that minion builds are one of the, you know, one focus. We're gonna get anyway, we're gonna go on pathofexile.com/blight, and we're gonna check out what we got here. So that's the official trailer that we're gonna probably watch again in the end. Wait, what we can do is we can make this smaller, right? I have a funny idea. So we can put that over here, right? Give me a second. Before we go into this, and we have the countdown timer directly. Needs to be a little bit smaller, or it doesn't get smaller. Oh, wait, never mind. Do we want the countdown? Just look like that, easy. Anyway, so oh wait, then it zooms there as well. If I zoom it here, then it zooms there as well. Stupid browser. Who comes up with these browsers? Why can I not have the same page in 2 different zoom levels? So, well, anyway, then we're just listening to music. But probably to Kamil Omanyanovsky, right? Let's just put on the original PoE soundtrack for a moment. I do have that in my video editing folder. Sorry. I know I'm a very mediocre beatboxer, and that's when you're generous, but anyway. I think this is good background. So, in Path of Exile Blight, you must stop the spread of the deadly blight by building towers to defend against monsters held in its thrall. Our September expansion contains the Blight Challenge League, 3 revamped balanced archetypes with new skills and support gems, plenty of new items, okay, I'm changing, 2 old leagues being integrated into the core game, and a focus of giving you more freedom to choose which aspects of Path of Exile content you play and when. Path of Ricardo, please. Actually better than Chris? Well, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not consistent with my voice. Like, I don't have an idea where to go, and I'll just change my accent and my way of intonating and everything all over the place. Sister Cassia is trying to stop the spread of the mind-controlling blight. Blah blah blah. Yeah, we already know this. We can look at the pictures here. Nice screenshots. Feels like we've seen all of these in the trailer. So they're unusually tough, which is not a surprise, right? I mean, this time they announce it, but in Legion, the Legions are unusually tough as well. In Abyss, the Abyssal monsters were pretty tough as well, at least on release. Like, every new league features, like, some unusually tough things, but, well, at least we know it now, right? Puberty will eventually end, a new voice will settle. Toxic stream viewers. But hey, I see it as a compliment. You called me young looking. Will they be as tough as rares? Oh god. I'm glad I didn't apologize for calling you toxic, because it was actually deserved. So each tendril lane you defend, a chest will appear with your rewards. Build your defense. Sister Cassia has an arsenal which contains towers that chill, shock, stun, burn, summon, empower, petrify, and debilitate. Okay, we know what chill is, we know what shock is, we know what stun is, we know what burn is. Summon, I can only imagine that the towers summon certain particular things, but I don't know what. Empower would probably buff things around you. Petrify is when things turn into stone, right? Petrifying Gaze is Castiopea's ultimate in Path of Exile, right? When she turns things to stone. Debilitate is making something weaker, right? So I guess it debuffs enemies. Okay, something like that. Choose, place, and upgrade these towers carefully to take advantage of both the terrain and the weaknesses of the infected monsters. These fast, bite-sized tower defense encounters combine Path of Exile's intense action combat with the tactical fun of this popular genre. Yeah. When do we get Path of Exile teamfight tactics? In 10 years then? Probably. So, yeah, as we saw, you can enchant the rings to have benefits for your towers, for the Blight encounters. So these will not help your average gameplay. They're like breach rings pretty much, only helping with that specific league mechanic. So they're not going to be like super valuable when the league ends, like synthesized rings or something like that, right? But they're still going to be interesting. How many worse ideas did they throw out before they chose this mechanic? Toxic. Cleanse blighted maps. Path of Exile's endgame is not safe from the effects of Blight either. Find blighted maps which contain gigantic Blight encounters with dozens of lanes and some of the league's most valuable rewards. Nice, 2 prefixes on maps, finally. Ceremonial Blighted Toxic Sewer. Or on blue maps, anyway. Oh wait, it's time. Oh, okay, it's part of the name, so it's a Blighted Canyon map. Blighted Rampart. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Enchant your items. Among other treasures, the Blight yields oils which Sister Cassia can use to anoint your jewelry. Combine 2 oils to enchant a ring with a potent tower modifier. Combine 3 oils to enchant your amulet with any notable passive skill from the skill tree. The 12 oils vary considerably in rarity, with each combination of them granting a different result. And I hope that this is not data mineable, right? But finding out which combinations yield which result will be interesting. And the question is, will you be able to deterministically get a specific notable passive reproducibly with the same combination, or will you just narrow down the pool of the notables that you could spawn, but it will still have some RNG factor to it? We will see, but that's the question that I ask myself right now. The combos will all be known within 24 hours. And they say it's deterministic. It's going to be found out in the first 12 hours probably. Well, I was hoping there's some sort of random factor to it, but then on the other hand, it's also nice if you can get a guaranteed thing. I like how this encourages, by the way, learning the notable names, because I literally don't know what Brutal Blade and Inexorable is. Essence Sap, I have an idea what that is, but I'm not sure. But that's cool, like it's it's not super necessary to know it because you can look it up at any time, but it's like convenient to know which one is which. So it will encourage that knowledge a little bit, I think. 36 hours, you would say? Yeah, it depends on the base and depends on how rare these vials are, right? Like, and maybe that we won't even get all the oils in the first 36 hours, right? It could be that, you know, some oils only spawn in red maps. Well, 36 hours people are in red maps, but, you know, in specifically red blighted maps or something like that, you know? I assume there's gonna be some that are incredibly rare. So you can get any notable passive skill on the skill tree. I was gonna look and be like, oh wow, we can get that one and we can get... But if we know we can get any notable passive, we can get any notable passive. That's great. Anointable unique items. 4 of the unique items exclusive to the Blight League form an armor set items, POG, that can be anointed with notable passives. Combined with an anointed amulet, the wearer of the set can have up to 5 bonus notable passives active at once, unlocking countless new build possibilities. I mean, if it's the right ones, that's incredibly powerful. I mean, if you get Whispers of Doom and a bunch of other really good ones, Whispers of Doom is the one single most powerful notable that comes to mind right now, but There's so many good notables. Like something like Divine Wrath is incredibly powerful because it's Fizz is extra, is spell damage, Fizz to lightning conversion, increased elemental, increased physical, that's a lot of stats, right? Spiritual aids will be incredibly good. Singular focus, like all these juicy ones. Arcane guarding, that's nuts. Imagine you get arcane guarding on the boots. Spell block while holding a shield, spell damage, energy shield from shield, wow. Yeah, alchemist, oh yeah, I didn't even think about the flask ones. So there's a lot of insane notables that you can get on these items. Like what we've seen so far is not in the least bit. You can get survivalist, you know, +1 max, you can get barbarism, you can get unnatural calm. Wow, you can get pretty sick shit, guys. Holy shit, you can get Vitality Void. Wow, that's like 20% increased total recovery per second from Life Leech. Wow. Art of the Gladiator, Pog. Wow. Herbalism, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of really good ones. Claws of the Magpie, steal all the charges. All the max charge nodes as well, right? You can get infused, you can get frenetic. Good point, good point. You can get the utmost intellect. Intelligence and increased intelligence. That's sick on an amulet. Wow, is that sick. Wow. If you're going for like a stat stacking build. Holy fucking shit. More OP than Legion? I mean, we don't know how rare these things are. They may be just very rare. I mean, if you think about Synthesis, the theoretical power creep was insane in Synthesis. But in practice, it wasn't very sick, right? You know what I mean? Like, difference between theory and practice here? Like, it was just not achievable for most of the players to get anything good. Because it was gated behind, you know, a lot of research, a lot of trading, a lot of stuff. Also, you can't change that with a Divine or Blessing? No. It's not an implicit, right? It's an enchant slot. So you can't affect it with a Blessed Orb. It's not an explicit stat, so you can't affect it with a Divine. It's an enchant. But you can enchant, like, you can use the Vial thing again, right? It's not like when you use one... You can do it an infinite amount of times. You can get fucking disemboweling, wow. Yeah, I mean, okay, we'll have that session some other time where we look at every single notable in the passive tree and say the name and say you can have that, wow. You can have Swift Skewering, wow. Anyway, you can get the Fortify effect, wow. So there's a lot of interesting things that you can get here. Heartseeker, right, wow. Later, nerds, time for Taco Tuesdays. Enjoy your taco, Magnamon.
Manage your master missions. You're no longer forced to run every master mission as soon as you encounter it, or required to run arbitrary maps to complete your dailies. Significantly more of your missions are now earned through map completion, and they can be run later by talking to the master in your hideout. Missions accumulate indefinitely, and you can run them whenever you have time on whatever maps you choose.
Sorry. It's just too immersive. I'm so hyped. We also have improved betrayals rewards, made deeper depths easier to access and delve, and integrated Legion and the boss fights from Synthesis into the core game. Almost sounds like this. The Necromancer archetype. Yeah, that's Pog. I mean, this is the MVP of the league for me, of the expansion. This is what everyone wants. Even the people who didn't want tower defense on Path of Exile, that's what they want. I think going forward, GGG may just do that with every league. Like, they bring something that is controversial, but they combine it with something that everyone wants, right? So even like the people who are like not super sold on the Tower Defense League are gonna play the League because they want to experience the master missions like that. I think that's pretty smart. So the Necromancer archetype will have significant revamps. Many summoner mechanics and the Witch's Necromancer Ascendancy class are reworked. Buffed the per gem level progression of many minion types, added new support gems that allow you to fine-tune minion behavior, revamped the Necromancer Ascendancy, introduced the Carrion Golem, added a high level 1 base type that can roll powerful minion mods, and many other changes. Wait, does that mean they're gonna move the Midnight Bargain onto that 1 base? That would be sick. Midnight Bargain buff, hopefully. That would be awesome. But yeah, getting a Summoner 1 base is pretty nice, and I don't think we have any Summoner-specific weapon bases in the game right now. Like, all the weapon base implicits only affect you yourself. So, the question is, will that base type, the 1 base type, will that have a minion-related implicit? Or will it just be able to roll minion mods in particular? To support all the... Oh wait, this is also MVP. Not just manage your master missions, but to support all the new skills that are available, we have added an additional bar of skill bindings. Wow. Wait, is there a screenshot of the additional bar? I want to see the... I don't believe it if I don't see it. I want to see them switch to the bar. And they didn't mention that they did new graphics for the flasks. They never mentioned it. Wow, there's a lot still, okay. Gotta speed up, gotta go through it within an hour. I need to buy an MMO mouse. Sure.
The Poison Assassin archetype. The Poison Assassin, once the most dominant playstyle in Path of Exile, is returning, almost to its glory days. Blight adds a new poison-themed support gem, and a suit of 5 poison... Oh god, I can't keep it up. And a suit of 5 potent new poison-themed skill gems, including Cobra Lash, which chains a poison... Oh, I can't. I'm not paying attention too much. Which chains a poison projectile between your foes. The new elusive mechanic, supported by a new Ascendancy notable, provides powerful defensive opportunities and a means of escape, while changes to the Perfect Agony Keystone passive and multipliers for ailments from critical hits ensure the Poison Assassin gets his mark. Okay, so we got here Withering Step. Movement skill alongside other skills instantly withers enemy around you. Okay. I need to see the skill, but okay. Cobra Lash throws out a weapon projectile that chains multiple times between enemies. That's what Mandalore called Razor earlier, Razor Slash or something like that. Budget Nico. What's these footsteps? Why is there a hexagram? Well, it's not even hexa, it's a pentagram. I don't know. I don't know what this is. New supporter pack. Yeah, look at all of it. We'll go from the top to the bottom. Oh wait, it's from the new supporter pack. That's what you mean. Makes sense. So, Mind Saboteur archetype often received feedback that mines, though strong, felt clunky to use. In Blight, we've completely reworked mine mechanics from the ground up. Thrown to a location, rather than placed at your feet, mines now deploy more quickly and detonate in sequence.
Mind skills also reward you for detonating long sequences, which is pretty cool. I remember back in GTA 2, you'd put a lot of cars next to each other and then explode them all in sequence so that the multiplier would line up and you get more points for it. That's what it reminds me of, and it was pretty fun. All these additions are further enhanced by changes to the passive skill tree for the Saboteur Ascendancy class. Changing the passive skill tree and the Saboteur Ascendancy class. And new and reward mind support gems, as well as the mobile skitter bots. What's a skitter bot? So, Stormblast Mine. We saw this in Ziggy's video. This is one of the low-level mind skills, the new ones. Makes nearby enemies vulnerable to damage with increasingly powerful shockwaves when multiple are detonated in sequence. This looks pretty cool. Looking forward to this. Summon Skitterbots. Skittering companions boost your trap and mine damage, occasionally activating mines, then rearming them or triggering multiple traps. Okay. This is the Stormcaller pack. I know that because I have the boots. Okay, this seems to be some type of new mine as well. We don't know the skill symbol here. And we also don't know the animation, like the 3D art here. But looks pretty cool. And powerful new items. Alongside the oils, blighted maps and new jewelry enchantments, Path of Exile Blight contains 18 new divination cards, 16 new skill and support gems, and 16 new unique items for you to discover. In addition, we have rebalanced 24 existing unique items, of which 6 have received substantial overhauls. Rebalanced 24 existing unique items, none of which are here. This is a Legion Scarab. I mean, we can tell by the fact it's purple. Polished Legion Scarab, right? And Scarabs are basically just leak stones. Which is funny, because no one liked leak stones, but everyone likes Scarabs. Well, I guess we'll look at the dagger. Cold Iron Point Azimite Dagger. Azomity Dagger. +3 to level of all physical spell skill gems. Deal no elemental damage. So it's for pure Fizz spells, which is kind of okay because we got a lot of you know, buffs to pure physical builds, right? You got the you get the maim from Flesh and Stone. I mean, you don't benefit from Impale as a non-attacker, as a spell. And despite the fact that this is +3, it's still just a 3-link, so I'm not sure how much use this will see. Because it's literally just a 4-link. No, it's just a 3-link, right? With +3. I'm not sure about that. But it's a Rune Dagger, guys. It's the new base that it's been hyped. It's a Rune Dagger. It's a new base type. We didn't get Rune Daggers before. It's like the Spellcaster Daggers. Of all physical spell skill gems. You're right. It doesn't say socketed. It's global. It may be global. I mean, it has to be global, otherwise it would say socketed. It literally, it even says explicitly all. So yeah, right. And it's pretty good. Triad Grip. We've seen these in the Ziggy D video. These are the gloves that allow you to convert all of your minion physical damage to a damage type of your choice between the 3 elements and chaos damage. Chaos damage is a little bit harder to accomplish because it requires white sockets, but there's, you know, it's not impossible to get 4 white sockets, and 100% physical to chaos is fairly pog. I'm thinking, I mean, you just need 2 red sockets, for example, to convert the remaining 50% of SOS damage to fire. So you can do pure fire SOS. I'm pretty sure there's like some sort of specters that you could have that normally just deal physical damage, with which you could convert all of their damage to cold and, you know, run hatred and whatnot for mad extra damage. Because hatred is not only physical as extra cold, but hatred is also... Right? Hatred got changed last patch, right? Hatred is also more cold spell damage or something like that, right? Your nearby allies deal more cold damage and you get extra cold damage. So, yeah. Wait. Yeah, you know both your nearby allies, so yeah, maybe pretty pog. Level 5 in power gives +4. Right? Yeah, level 5 in power gives +4. Level 40 Dream. I don't know what you're referring to with the level 40 Dream. Okay, this amulet is pretty interesting. It's the badge of the Brotherhood. You get increased cooldown recovery of travel skills per frenzy charge, increased effect of elusive per power charge. What is elusive? 23% chance to lose a frenzy charge when you use a travel skill. Okay. 24% chance to lose a power charge when you gain elusive. Max frenzy charges is equal to your max power charges. So that's pretty cool. I just would like to know what elusive is. And those boots look awesome. Pretty pog. Imagine EK level 34 or Blade Vortex. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. That's the buff that we need because BV sucks without a lot of damage. But then, you know, you deal no elemental damage. So while you get pretty much a lot of damage, you completely lock yourself out of getting extra elemental. You lock yourself out of applying elemental ailments. Right, like freeze, chill, and shock. It's definitely a trade-off. I mean, it's probably gonna be nuts in terms of damage. Dual Chaos, you can do still Fizz to Chaos, but yeah, via Unholy Might and stuff like that, right? Fizz to Chaos is kinda hard. Like, there's not many weapons that give Fizz to Chaos, and one of your weapon slots is already occupied with the dagger. I wonder... Yeah, +6 because you can dual wield the dagger in theory, but... I don't know. Oh, that's sick. I mean, if you think about it, it's not that much. Every +1 level is about 10% more damage. So this is like 32% more damage. It's not insane. 32, 33. Wait. Yeah, something like that. It's not insane for a dagger slot, because if you think about Shaper's stat sticks, they give you a lot of more damage, right? It's not insanely insane. 2 chance-shaped daggers with Eternity Shroud. I don't think Eternity Shroud is worth it. Because Eternity Shroud is good because it dips into every conversion stage, but if you're not converting, then you just get one extra, and I'm not sure whether it's worth it, right? There's also elemental as extra chaos. So no, it's not non-chaos as extra chaos, it's elemental as extra chaos. You don't have any elemental damage. And if you convert to elemental to get extra chaos, then you won't deal the physical anymore. So you lose the physical and you get elemental, of which you get extra, but you don't deal the elemental, so effectively you're losing damage. Additive to base number, it's a big increase. No, it's more. It doesn't matter where it gets added. It doesn't matter whether you apply it to the base value or to the values after all scaling is applied. It's more. It's just more damage. It doesn't matter if you have 32% more base damage and then all of your increases are applied, or you get all of your increases and then you do 32% more damage. If you multiply something by 32% more, or if you multiply something by 1.32, it does not care whether you multiply it before you add other multipliers or afterwards. It doesn't change anything. Nook's Crown, Bone Helmet, item level 100, Elder. Faded unique item. Wait, Akil's Prophecy? Faded unique item? Wait, you get a faded unique item, or you get the prophecy for a faded unique item? It's a little bit confusing because it's shown in purple. So that's a little bit... But yeah, I guess it says item, so you get the item. But then why is it purple? Why is it not, you know, orange like the normal unique text? Anyway, that's pretty pog. If you get like a random faded unique item, there's pretty cool ones. Looks like a prophecy, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it does say item. So why does it not say faded unique prophecy? That's what I'm saying. Faded unique sealed prophecy or something like that. It says item, so it's probably an item. Akil's Prophecy is the item? Akil's Prophecy is the name of the card, dude. Like Nook's Crown is the name of this card, which a full set will trade for Bone Helmet. Item level 100. Elder base, which that's pretty cool, honestly. Item level 100 Elder Bone Helmet. Someone smoked too much at the divination card office. Lol. Blight supporter packs. We're also launching 2 sets of supporter packs alongside Blight, Lich and Sentinel packs. 2 price points available for each, and they feature masses of points alongside the new armor sets and other exclusive cosmetic microtransactions. You'll be able to purchase these from Thursday, August 22 Pacific Daytime onwards. Holy shit, I had bad posture throughout the entire session. Wow. Oh, that's way better. I was sitting here like this, and I was like, what's wrong? But yeah, that's pretty insane. Wow. I went just a little bit over 1 hour for the entire thing. So yeah, that sums it up, guys. That's the Blight reveal. We're going to upload this to YouTube, so if you're watching from YouTube, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and whatnot. Subscribe button is here. And yeah. See you in the next one. We're gonna look at all the press coverage now. Like,